you have your way, anything goes. Well, let's just hope that things will change for the better, and those who are responsible to ensure that law and order is maintained across board, not actually choosing or differentiating or isolating some persons, will know what to do, will do the needful. On the Evening Rush, we look at topical hot issues across Nigeria's socio-economic and political landscape, and obviously we give you as it is. We also bring a wealth of analysts with their different experience, give us their perceptions of these issues, and obviously, intellectually edifiers give us depth on these issues, and then we're able to have clarifications as they come. So what is one of the hot topics today? Now, you would wonder that with the spate of insecurity in the country, that the fact that most recent times we've heard where we hear the DSS or the police go to people's homes and, have a way of, in bringing them to their coffers or to the station due to one negative thing they said or one something of that you consider to be a form of criticism to any of these government representatives. And it's quite unfortunate because you would have thought that that same zeal, that same effort, that same impulse that they actually implement in having to confiscate these persons will be used to battle insecurity. A police officer was abducted on Abuja Highway today. I found it quite ridiculous because the same thing to happen to one of the Afenifere Labour Party representatives who was in the detention of these kidnappers for almost 2 weeks. And the only thing we've heard is the fact that his family was able to put up 70 million naira for his release. What happened to the police having to secure his release? These are unfortunate times and these are unfortunate events. Obviously, again, there was a drama at the Lagos State House of Assembly. Today, Obasa has returned as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Despite the fact that the case is in court, no court order, nothing, based on the Governor's Advisory Council, he was brought back through the patron. Well, I know today is Monday, right? Obviously, you know how Monday is. You know whom we have in the studio to help us give us his own in-depth insight into these issues. And obviously, that is Barrister Darlington Agumo. Barrister, how are you?
I'm okay, Stella. How are you too?
My name is Esther Wachuku, not Stella.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Thank you very much. Let me remind you. Okay, so how are you?
I'm okay, Esther. How are you doing?
I am fine. It's an interesting Monday, don't you think?
In fact, a lot of news here and there.
A lot of news? You don't think it's drama? Is it news or drama?
In fact, this one is beyond news. Oh, it's a theater arts.
Barrister Darlington, Mr. Peter Onosike said that today's event, he foresaw it. He saw it coming. Did you see it coming?
Yeah.
In the case of Obasa,
yeah,
resuming as the Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker.
For him to have the muscle to come back, I knew that a script has been written and they're acting it out. So I wasn't too surprised.
I asked him, I said, a script was written. You allowed all of this ruckus to take place. And then eventually you asked him to come back as a speaker. Okay, so what was all the financial financial misappropriation and all whatnot that the lawmakers said he was part of, embezzlement and all whatnot?
It's not as if those things did not happen. They happen, but those behind him didn't want EFCC to pick him up.
Who are those behind him?
Remember when he came back from US or so? They wanted to pick him up, but some people said that they should not touch him.
You don't know these people? These people, who are the people?
You know, by this time in the evening, I used to forget names. That's the problem I have.
Conveniently, you have amnesia. Barrister Darlington, it's ridiculous. Don't you think so?
Well, how do I put it?
So him storming the Lagos State House of Assembly last week, and he knew that it was eventually going to get to this.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look at the woman. They pressurized her, just push her a little, and she succumbed. So.
Interesting.
Yes, that's it. That's what happened. When a place has been captured, that when a goat is tied to a stake, that goat cannot go further than that rope they used to tie it. When the goat go this side, the rope will draw it back. The goat will go the other side. The rope will draw it back. So the goat cannot escape from where they tied it. That's what is going on with Lagos State.
Interesting.
So Lagos has been captured. It does not have any freedom. In fact, you can't cough in Lagos now without somebody asking you, why did you cough?
Interesting.
That's the way it is now.
All of this is for what? Ahead of 2027?
Not only that, no, it's for power.
Power?
Yes, they want to build an empire in Lagos.
What kind of empire? Excuse me, an empire in Lagos?
It's already there.
The indigenes of Lagos are writing to the Lagos state government saying that they have been emasculated, isolated from the juicy positions. Most of the persons occupying that seat are indigenes of other states, Kwara, Osun, and all of that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what
Where
they say.
were they since 1999? They were sleeping and didn't know one bit. I remember when I called on them here, they said, hey, go back to your state. Lagos is working. We don't have any problem. That thing they are hiding, Shebi, don't blow over now. This is just the beginning, no. Esther, this is just, go and mark my word, this is just the beginning. As long as they got their way here, in this particular case, every other thing is a walkover.
Every other thing is a walkover.
It's a walkover. It will be difficult for anybody to do anything in Lagos now. Look at all the people that are talking about 2027 in Lagos. Did you hear any noise again?
Nope.
Let them cough now. Let them rear their head again.
Interesting. Mojisola last but Miranda, last week she responded to some questions from the press, and she said what her colleague did was a show of shame. Is it that Mojisola did not know that he would return to the Lagos State House of Assembly for her to have made that statement? This was while they were coming out of the court. I am wondering how they thought the script was going to play out. If, according to you and a couple of political analysts, believe that this whole thing was scripted, right? All the way from Abuja or from wherever it is, that is, whoever is in the charge of this particular drama where they're writing scripts, right? And then this person also complained based on the rift between Obasa and the governor of the state, Sanwo-Olu. And then we heard that he advised Obasa to apologize, and he did not do so. So is it the same person that asked that he be impeached? And if the impeachment process took place very swiftly, everything was done, evidence was brought out as to why he needs to be impeached, this same person now comes to complain and say, you did it like it was a coup. You were not supposed to do it this way, right? And then this same script writer now says, bring him back. I'm just trying to understand, what is this, a power play? Is this a strategic? I don't know how the word to put it together to describe this.
You see, when you want to test your power, when you want to prove a point, these are the type of thing you do as a godfather, that you can do and undo. You can remove and you can employ. You can demote and you can elevate. They just demonstrated that, yes, we own Lagos. We can do whatever. We can remove anybody and we can bring the person back.
So law and order does not apply. Even the police were involved in the script writing.
In fact, very soon I'll be calling them APC police. Seriously, we no longer have a Nigerian police. It has to be APC police. Very shameful, I'm telling you. It has to be APC police. They no longer do things according to their job, the dictates of their job. They are no longer neutral. Check all the action they've been taking so far. Whenever APC interest is, police will down to that area, as if it is APC that owns them. We are saying we are creating anarchy. We are creating anarchy. Nigerians will not see it now until the day it will happen. Then people will wake up and start talking like this Lagos people that woke up and start talking that it's today you know, Abi. No, it's today you know that you are no longer, you no longer own your state. You don't own your state. They were here when somebody sold their land to Dangote at $100 million. If not that Dangote said, did they know at all that somebody sold their land? So it's not that they woke up, Abi. It's unfortunate. They will not do anything. They will never do anything.
Barrister Darlington, I will not lie to you. I am shocked because I thought that this whole thing, they said that they had resolved the issue. Miranda will be the speaker. Okay, so what happened to the court? What was his name? Obasa went to court. The lawmakers too, who actually, impeached him, also went to court to say they don't want him to return. So they didn't wait for the court order, and then somebody just said return him. And then those the third is okay. Who brought him back? Is it the lawmakers or is it just the Governor's Advisory Council? I want to know what the process of bringing him back was.
No, it is the principality and powers that are behind him that brought him back.
No, what I'm trying to say is that there was a process of impeachment and they were able to reel out the reasons why they were impeaching him, isn't it? Now, you brought him back and you did not give us a detailed reason as to why he was brought back. Was he brought back based on a judicial proceeding? Was it brought back based on some, I don't know, intermediary that took place? What was the reason why he was brought back? What was the process? Is it the lawmakers, the same lawmakers who went through the process of impeachment, were the same lawmakers that said, okay, we trust your judgment, we trust you to lead us, come back? What was the process?
You want to know, Abi?
We want to know.
You will never know.
Why?
Because you don't need to know. That is it. Oh, you think you matter in all these things? No. It's all about their own selfish interests. I told you here, in Lagos State, things are not done the way it should be done. Quote me. We have seen examples here. Remember when Ambode was to be impeached as a month to his leaving office, until one man now said no, they should stop. They are collected signatories, so their signature about 80% have signed that they want to impeach Ambode. Until one man now told them to stop, and they stopped. That was when I knew that assembly, they are not their own man.
What's his name? The governor of Lagos State, His Excellency, Governor Sanwo-Olu, had tried to meet the president, I think last week, about 2 or 3 occasions, and he was denied access to meet the president.
Better.
Why do you say better?
Why not? God Almighty. Look, you think they will, without being told, don't you know what is going on? I was telling Sanwo-Olu, because when he came in, I remember how he came in. Ambode was still in office when Sanwo-Olu was acting as a governor. And I said it here, I said, no, this is wrong. And Sanwo-Olu was so happy that, yes, Ambode was in office. When commissioners were deferring to Sanwo-Olu, he even traveled to Davos to represent Lagos State as Lagos State governor. He had not been handed over. And he was so jubilant and all that. And I said, come, I think you don't know where you are. That ticket they used to flog the old woman in the house, they kept it for the new woman. No, it will get your turn. Because when these people, when they are acting on selfish interests, they don't care. Friendship or whatever can be thrown overboard. As long as they can cultivate new friendship, you are useless as anything. They have used you and dumped you. They can cultivate new friends.
So the 36 lawmakers who impeached him on allegations of misconduct and corruption, were they outside the country this time when he was brought back?
No, they were sleeping before they woke up.
This brouhaha was resolved how? Miranda has returned back to her position and accepted to be deputy after saying that his storming the House of Assembly was a show of shame.
I mean, what do you want to say? I said it is the people of Lagos State and Nigeria that I blame. I look at how everybody kept quiet. Nobody see anything wrong with what has just gone on. That means that assembly can never take any decision on their own.
So you mean they just treated the Lagos State House of Assembly like they were children?
Well, you can see it. You can see what is going on. Even Ambassador came back. Who brought him back? Thugs. Who were shouting, on your mandate we stand.
So obviously in the political might in Lagos, Obasa just displayed that he has that political might.
He doesn't. He
doesn't have it?
Somebody was behind him, forget it.
Somebody was behind him?
Yeah, because
this same person was not behind him when the impeachment proceeding went on. The person was not aware.
No, he wasn't around. When he came back and then he went to Aso Rock and had a tete-a-tete. It was that thing that finished the job.
When he came back, he organized a press conference. He talked about how he was humiliated, embarrassed. His family was closed off. DSS surrounded his premises. And then we later heard that there were guns in his office, which belonged to his security aide. We saw different things. So at the end of the day now, he has returned. So they have told us indeed who be the Oba of politics in Lagos. And so and it displays, okay, what was the governor supposed to do? Because, Lagosians, some residents or netizens were saying, what is the governor supposed to do about this? How should the governor intervene in this?
My dear, when they created the GAC that is literally running the state, what do you want the governor to do? The GAC, I'm sure some of themselves, I don't know the face they will use to look at Lagosians now, because they don't have any power.
No, somebody, one of the Governor's Advisory Council actually said that Tinubu is not a god, and he moved against Obasa returning. Well, but it just showed that we've seen who the god is, you know, based on how everything happened and
After
transpired.
all the statement, what came out of? You mean Obasa came back to that house on his own? Hold on. Who gave him the police and everything? Who? Who is the commander-in-chief that would deploy police or army anywhere? You mean Obasa on his own? When he came back, did he even come close to that house? Until he went to Abuja. Until he went to Abuja and then came back and started saying that I was never impeached. And start talking tough. Who would have asked him to come close to that house with all the police and army that would have gathered the place and prevent him? But somebody cleared the road now. Somebody cleared the road. So
it's very interesting. Like some netizens are saying that as it stands, very soon Nigeria will be in the pockets of some very.
It's already there. Esther, don't.
I'm not part of them.
I said it is already there.
I'm not in anybody's
From
pockets.
Rivers to Lagos to even Osun, they have collected everything. The only thing that is left for us now is this fresh air we are breathing. Very soon they'll collect it. They'll collect it too.
Now wow. Well,
collect it.
a couple of Nigerians feel that the reinstatement of Obasa, they see it as a threat to democratic survival. They are insisting that the president should allow the rule of law to take its course on the matter. But the president, we didn't see his face. We didn't hear him say anything about this. So how do we know that the president is involved in all of this?
I said, who then was behind Obasa?
It could have been a couple of persons,
Look,
but not the president.
who did he want to confer with in Aso Rock when he came back? Who? Was it not after his visit in Aso Rock that things started happening? And somebody was asking some people to write apology letter. So what does that tell you?
Interesting.
So you can hide all you can, but the truth is out there.
Well, we're expecting to see or hear from the opposition concerning this as to
Did they have opposition in that house? I say opposition. Which opposition? They don't have any opposition in that place now. So what would they say? They don't have any. That is, you see, when you have told lies for a long time, one day truth will catch up with it. They keep telling me that Lagos is peaceful, Lagos is working. We can see. You can see that Lagos is working, Lagos is peaceful. You know, when you go to a graveyard, you see peace because the people there are just lying under the grave, rotting. Until you open the sepulchre, you now see the rotten inside it. We now know how Lagos is working. We have seen it now. We can see it now that Lagos is at the whims and caprices of one man. The Lagos State of Assembly is no longer their own person. They are not independent. The government is not independent. Nobody is independent in Lagos State. So is that what you call democracy? Is that what you call peace? That everything should be at your own whims and caprices. Is that what you call peace? No, it's not peace. It's not even democracy. So those who told us that they fought for democracy, we have seen them or would have seen them finish. If that is how to fight for democracy, count me out. Count me out.
Well, those that supported the president, I think he's delivering on the mandate.
Which we're delivering what? What did he deliver?
I'm just saying he's delivering on the mandate.
Which mandate did he?
They're not supporters of the president. How did the president win the election? He won the election, and obviously he won based on the mandate that he promised his supporters, and he's delivering it.
Look, what is he delivering? That's my question.
Are we not seeing what is being delivered?
Okay, you are the only one seeing it. I didn't see it.
But you're just explaining some certain things going on within this administration. The things that are actually the theatrics, the drama. Are these not part of the deliverance of the mandate?
If that is what deliverance of democratic dividend, then we should not be blaming the devil now, because everything that I will say, devil's handwork. No, if this is how to deliver dividend of democracy, then we should crown devil as a saint. That's it. There's no need complaining.
All right, Barrister Darlington, like I said, these are the hot topics. Quite a lot that actually transpired. An officer of the Nigerian Police Force, Modestus Ojebe, has been kidnapped by armed assailants along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, in Abuja. And obviously, the Chief Superintendent of Police, who is attached to the Kwara State Police Command, was attacked while attempting to fix his vehicle, which broke down near Day Police Barracks in Abuja. While they were checking him and they saw his ID card that he was a a senior police officer. They took him away, and then they left the wife and the car. Now the thing is this: well, it's not up to 48 hours yet for us to see how the police would act in ensuring that this man is gotten back. But you remember the other Labour Party Afenifere person? I think one of the guys from Osun State who was recently released from the kidnappers' den. It was not the security operatives who released him. Apparently, he was able to pay his friends' family were able to pay about 17 million naira. Now, this is our security whom, when you say anything that criticizes this administration, the president, the son, the IGP, they have a way of tracking your handle and bringing you to the Abuja police station. And sometimes they send you to court. Sometimes you're not available anymore. Nobody gets to hear anything from you. A video was done where this man was begging, and we saw a gun pointed at his face. So while he was begging for Nigerians to please help him with some money for them to release him, and we thought that they would have been able to track where he is and able to rescue him. So what method do they use to track those who criticize the government via social media? And then that method is not deployed too when it comes to individuals being kidnapped. And when you see videos, they can't track it. What, they don't have the aesthetics, they don't have the technology, or that the technology for that one is different from the one they employ in tracking social media handles and where those people who said what not reside. I want to understand what it is.
It depends on who has been kidnapped.
Oh,
you know, all animals are equal. But some are more equal than others. Is that not true?
Okay.
So it depends on who has been kidnapped.
Interesting.
That is it. Do you know how many of our security men, either police or whoever that is somewhere, and nobody had even their name? Not to talk of trying to rescue them. So it's a sad story. If security agents can be kidnapped in this manner, then what is the fate of ordinary Nigerians? Eh?
Police officer.
I'm telling you, senior one at that. Senior one at that. So what do you expect? Do you know how many civilians that are languishing there for years? Nobody even remember them. Nobody talks about them. Except when they now do maybe random operation and then stumble on them and then they release them. That's what's going on. There is no clear-cut method of working on these security issues. It's just when the government is interested, they give a marching order. Go and bring this man. That's what they will tell them. And they will go and bring him or her. Remember when the former AIG wife was taken? Udenwa?
Yes.
You saw what happened. They not only rescued the woman, they rescued the money, the ransom they paid already. They rescued the money. They rescued the money. So if police don't want you to benefit from your whatever, they will stop you. They will do everything to stop you. They rescued the woman. So what exactly is wrong is what I don't know. Because most time when we say conspiracy theory, you the press, you say, no, do you have evidence? But all evidence is staring us out in the face. Evidence is staring at you and me in our faces. Evidence. Evidence.
Okay. Barrister, there's one good thing now. You know that Dangote announced, was it not last week, that they had, the price of petrol from Dangote has actually reduced. And then we heard the NNPC saying they've also reduced their own petrol price. They've reduced it from 945 naira to 860 naira. A lot of persons are saying, indeed, the president's, method, his mantra, his economic strategy is working. When you bring in proper deregulation, there is competition, and then people can choose where to buy. Are we seeing that fully taking shape? That yes, the work is already proving itself. I mean, now when you have this kind of healthy competition, the fuel of price is gradually reducing. What would you say to this development?
The only difference is that we are still importing fuel.
Okay.
Is that not true? Yes. Where did any NPC get their own? We are still importing fuel. That one is certain. Where did they get their fuel? Because
or is this in decrease because of the Ramadan? Could this be because of the Ramadan?
No. Maybe because they want to catch up with Dangote now. When he reduce, they feel that they too will be losing customers. So they will not, reduce their own too.
How many filling stations does Dangote have, aside from the refinery?
No, people will go and pick it from his refinery because of the cheap price.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll go and pick it there.
And then sell at a lower price.
This independent market, they are like, I don't want to call those people in the red light too.
So
they can go to anybody that's willing to pay, serve them well. That's what they do. They move from one, as long as you have a product and they can buy at cheap price, they will go there and lift it. It doesn't matter where the product comes from. They are just looking for cheap product to buy.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, you're still listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We're currently streaming live on YouTube. I would implore you to virtually be part of the conversation while we intellectually engage ourselves on issues going on across Nigeria's political and socio-economic landscape. It's at VOP 903 FM. Go on the YouTube application, type on the search bar, and join us virtually on the conversation. Also, like I said in the course of the program, we'll have the phone lines and obviously the WhatsApp number that you can send your messages to and the number that you can call. I'm in the studio with Barrister Darlington Agumore. He doesn't actually seem surprised at the events. He actually looks down in a way, possibly because he envisaged the reality right now that we're talking about, concerning the drama and the theatrics taking place in Nigeria right about this moment. But hey, it's important for us to, properly have a concept of what is going on. Let's understand precisely. Let's not just misinterpret issues. Barrister Darlington, let's head on to Rivers State. Ever since the governorship election that took place in Rivers State, Fubara came on board. Immediately that man was inaugurated. Is one drama or the other. That state has been like an unending football match. You have the police, that is the security arm. You have the judicial system. You have the political bigwigs. Everybody, trying to grab and get something from the state. As it stands now, Governor Fubara, well, he tried to encourage his people today because the Rivers State House of Assembly members, the supposed defected members or lawmakers, have told him that within 48 hours he needs to represent that budget. Earlier on today, DSS and some police operatives, surrounded the quarters where they usually converge. And Fubara was giving a speech today. I played that audio during the World News at 6. A couple of netizens feel that Fubara already feels defeated, although he was trying to encourage his people. Now, the idea is if he doesn't represent that budget, there's a possibility that impeachment proceedings can commence. And he himself said it, that what is the worst that can happen? Impeachment. Well, he has instructed that, the caretaker committee should come on board for the local government chairman. That is, the caretaker committee should start taking care of issues until Rivers State Electoral Commission conducts fresh elections for local government elections. This is what the Supreme Court wanted. For the defected lawmakers, the judgment in that is reserved, but he's been asked to represent, and as it stands, he may likely represent that budget. How do you think this puts the political situation in Rivers, especially for the pro-Wike members?
My dear, up till now, I am still shocked at what the Supreme Court did.
You are?
I am shocked because when you are representing a budget, is it 2024 or 2025? A budget that have assumed its own life. A budget that is already work in progress. You now say they should reintroduce it so that what will happen? When time has overtaken certain events, it will go with that time. This is not a criminal matter that you say, no, it does not expire. If you represent the budget now, what will now happen? Is it 2024 budget or 2025? You mean what will now happen? They will now start interrogating the budget that is already being implemented. My dear, I find it difficult to understand. I was thinking that the Supreme Court would have looked at the defected lawmakers matter that is before the appeal.
Okay.
And then ask them to wait until the matter of defected lawmakers is decided. They might even encourage the appeal court to speedy that particular matter. Because that matter has been there. I don't know why they are waiting for, what they are waiting for. Maybe this is the game plan. Because if they have decided on that matter, maybe there wouldn't have been any need for Fubara to present a budget to 3 members. Maybe the court would have reinstated them or not. But because they were working towards an answer, that was why they delayed that matter at the appeal court. It was deliberate. It was deliberate. If not, that matter ought to have been decided before now. But they rushed this particular one based on what the Constitution said. But I was again thinking that the Supreme Court would have done something that is exceptional. you know, there's always what's it called? Classicus.
Barrister Libero Shoma is of a different opinion that.
No, I heard what he said yesterday night, and I wasn't too pleased.
Okay.
Because one, you cannot say because you want to achieve it. Look, the Supreme Court is an administrative court. They can give directive, they can advise. They can advise because what they did, they gave a punishment. They gave punishment instead of advice. Because it is when you have refused to carry out the instruction of the Supreme Court that the punishment will come.
Is that what they're saying? That he did not carry out the order of the High Court that had instructed him to represent that budget.
But look, the matter was going to the Supreme Court on what basis? On what basis? So when some people have defected, and the defection have not been decided, you want the state to stand still. Why is it that nobody is talking about that defection? So we should wait for the lawmakers until when they now come back on their own.
The court is saying that it wasn't proper for him to have presented the budget with just 4 lawmakers. But as it stands, those 27 members defected. So when the case went to the High Court ordered him to present that budget to a properly constituted house because it's unconstitutional to present a budget to a house that is not properly constituted.
All the court heard.
All the court heard. All the court orders.
Because look, those who drafted the constitution, listen very well, listen. They know that a situation will arise that will bring about this particular issue, whereby it will be difficult for the state assembly to operate or something happened and they did not form a quorum. Section 11 is there that says if such a thing happens, the House of Reps should take over the administration of the House. And then the lawmakers will now be doing something that is called a sign down. That means they will be operating with the House of Reps to administer the state, to make sure that the state move forward. But within that period, they must not impeach the governor until the issues at stake are resolved. Why is it that the Supreme Court did not give that instruction? That based on what is going on, until the issue of defected lawmakers are decided by the court, the Supreme Court just arrested the matter before the appeal court now. A matter is before the appeal court. You have ruled on it at the Supreme Court. Is that not what the Supreme Court have done now?
Yes.
A matter is still pending at the appeal court. You now ruled on it at the Supreme Court. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? These are defected lawmakers. He said they should now go and take over and then look. I didn't get it. Are you telling me that Supreme Court is not aware that there is a matter before the appeal court on the defected lawmakers?
They are aware, obviously.
So why is it that they are silent on it as if it doesn't matter? What then is the real meaning of section 109? We should not expunge it from the constitution now since it's no longer useful because APC is involved.
Is there no antecedent to this matter? The way the whole thing, it seems
Listen,
like this is the first time this matter is happening.
In Plateau, it happened. The same Supreme Court said that the governor can go on with 6 members. Esther, can you imagine?
The same Supreme Court.
It can go on with the 6 members in the House. What is the difference here? What is this? Just budget money. That money, that's what they're after. And that's what they're after in Rivers State. Look at how long they've been fighting to take Rivers State from PDP. Look at how long from Buhari time. In fact, in 2019, their shame was exposed. The court ruled that APC is not supposed to contest any election in Rivers State. From state assembly to governorship to House of Reps to Senate to even president, that because they did not conduct any primary. The court said they should not contest. What happened? Amechi deployed the federal army, federal troops, and invaded the Rivers State. Using one small political party to capture Rivers State, and people died. What was the meaning of all that? After the court had said you should not take part because of what you did in the primary. You can imagine. That was where they made Wike a hero. Because whatever they were trying, it's purely illegality. Illegality. They wanted to use, I think, AAC or so. They wanted to use one party to capture power from Rivers State, but it did not work.
All right, Barrister Darlington, let's take a listen to Kenneth Okonkwo. Maybe you can either correspond or dispute.
5. the law must be consistent with each other. Not coming to section 1 and say something, and coming to section 10 and say a contradictory thing. The Supreme Court must be consistent in their judgments, not giving a judgment in this case, and in another case, they are contradicting themselves. Because one of the principles of law that can make the law to achieve rule of law is that it must be consistent with each other. The next, the law must not require a conduct that is beyond the capacities of the affected parties. When a law gives or requires a conduct that is impossible to achieve, that law can never conduce to rule of law. Because we are human beings, we are limited. Then the law must be administered in accordance with the wordings of the law. I hope I've mentioned about 8 of them. The question now is, in all honesty, would you say that the Supreme Court judgments have been consistent with each other?
No.
My respectful answer is, I don't think so. The Supreme Court that said that the Plateau State House of Assembly is properly constituted by 6 members.
Exactly.
Because the remaining of the other members have defected. It's still the same Supreme Court I'm hearing saying that it is an absurdity that the governor presented a budget before a 4-man House of Assembly, when it was obvious that the other 27 have defected.
Oh.
The law is there by the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
And if law are not consistent,
exactly,
they said it will be difficult for that law to perform the functions of law, which is bringing orderliness in the society.
Exactly.
The other principle, the last one, which is the 8th one, is that the law should not be changed so regularly to make the subject not to be able to rely on them. You know, you have a law today.
Tomorrow
you say you have another law.
Yeah.
Next tomorrow, you say you have another law. That means when I sit down to plan what I will do tomorrow, I won't know what the position of the law is.
Exactly.
So one of the 8, which is the final one, that the law should be constant. The law should be constant.
Yes, not bending the rule.
At least over a long time. So, they even say that Wike at a certain point had 6 members of the House of Assembly.
Exactly.
I'm not aware any court of law said it was an absurdity.
You
have to apply the law equally to everybody. You don't have to be changing the law every day. The law will not contradict each other. The law must be clear and unambiguous.
Exactly.
So that rule of law can prevail.
Exactly.
So the reason we have too many laws in Nigeria and we are not orderly in Nigeria is because we don't have rule of law. And that confusion permeates all the arms of government, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. So my reaction to the Supreme Court judgment is, first of all, the position of the law is that Supreme Court judgment is final and should be obeyed by every person and authority in Nigeria. That is the law. So I am not in anywhere in this interview advocating that the Supreme Court judgment should not be obeyed. No. But we are trained as a lawyer. You can agree or disagree and put your points over respectfully. Now, the summary of the judgment is that the governor ought not to have presented the Appropriation Act to the 4 members, but ought to have presented it to the 27 members. Then that's the election conducted by this River State Independent Electoral Commission. The local government election is invalid. This is the ratio from what I gathered. So what it means is that the River State Independent Electoral Commission should go and organize another election. That's just what it means. So I heard some people throwing the arguments that there was one extension by the legislature extending the tenure of the former local government chairman. Extending. What did I say about rule of law? That was a legislative exercise of an executive function, and that is illegal. That's treasonable. What it is, what they're saying is like the National Assembly have the right, when we are not in a state of war, to extend the tenure of Tinubu without election. That's what they're saying. Exactly. Can you see how absurd that is?
I'm telling you.
The court has even struck down that portion of some, if I can remember.
Yes.
As illegal. Because the legislature, you are saying you are for rule of law. And that's why I'm telling you that none of them is for rule of law. And you're saying that the legislature sat down and made law and excluded the Rivers State people from electing their leaders in a democracy. And you say you want to continue. Why didn't you go to court to mandate the governor to organize? And it's not even the governor that organizes election. It's the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. They are supposed to be independent. So why didn't you go to court to compel them to organize election? But you went to, and you say they have extended your tenure. No. When your tenure finishes, you hand over.
Barrister Darlington,
in fact,
you seem to acquiesce with everything Kenneth Okonkwo was saying, and it's in total contrast to what Liberal Shoma was saying yesterday. He literally even, made a derogatory comment as to
an actor.
Yes, precisely, possibly maybe because he doesn't understand what process is like.
No, it's not proper. Seriously, it's not proper because the punishment is no longer on the presentation of budget. It's now on the whole of River people. That budget is not for Fubara or any lawmaker. It's for Rivers people. So if you are now saying they should cease their allocation, whom are you now punishing?
Obviously the people.
Okay, so is that justice?
And others are saying Wike and his supporters were happy. So were they happy that the people that they said they want to serve
are now going to suffer? And that will tell you. I said there is something that these people want from River State. It's as simple as that. Don't deceive yourself. It is now become very obvious that people are being manipulated to take over River State by force. Why would you say that local government chairman who tenure have expired, they should come back? I mean, can you just imagine?
Is it that the legal representatives of the governor of Rivers State did not mention all these antecedents?
If they did not mention
to the court,
if they did not mention it, how come they remember to put it in their judgment?
So now the rules don't apply. What kind of interpretation was the Supreme Court interpreting? I mean, I don't understand how they saw what they saw for the judgment.
This is not the first time. This is not the first time. And I wanted the Liberals, my friend, to interpret what happened in 1979. When the same Supreme Court erred in law by making a judgment that was in favor of Shagari against Awolowo, and said that nobody, no law student, no lawyer should make reference to that judgment in any law court. 6 months after, Graham Douglas now told us that it was a political judgment. That the reason is that there was tension. That while they were trying to regulate the meaning of 12 to 3rd, Obasanjo was showing Shagari around the dam barracks. That at that point, if they were to rule in favor of Awolowo, things will happen. Can you imagine? And they said nobody should quote that judgment in any law court. So nobody will make reference to it. So it is going on again today. So our court now, it is according to the mood of a particular party in the matter. And when you look at his mood, if you find out that he's very aggressive, he's going to cause mayhem. Now you rule in his favor, Abi, and you call that judgment. Or if you know that the person that with this thing will favor is in power, they have the whatever to do whatever. Therefore, you must now favor him so that peace will be in Nigeria, Abi. You can see. I said we no longer have judges who are in fact, who are very, 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 very
tough
and straightforward. I'm telling you,
laws.
They are no longer there. And Oputa will never do this. Oputa, he will never.
So are you saying there has been a decline?
I am telling
in
you,
the conduct of activities within our judiciary over the years?
In fact, the last two CJN, when they were leaving office, they told you now that the law is now to the highest bidder. Adewola said it.
And based on connections
yes,
as well.
On his valedictory speech, he said it. I said, what? A whole CJN is saying this.
True.
True. He said it.
So. He said so. Despite he appointing his sons and daughter-in-law.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So
why should anybody now come and say that we should be clapping for them when they have heard the door? The Supreme Court is not infallible now.
All right, President.
This
let's
is
take a very
deliberate. It's deliberate. It's not as if they didn't know or that they made a mistake.
Let's take a very short break. You're still listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Let's go pay our bills, and then we'll be right back very shortly. Just stay with us. This is your number one radio station at VOP 90.3 FM.
It gets one what's strong kakaraka? What's in the name?
Domin Herbal Powder is your number one immune booster for general well-being. It also helps people with high blood pressure, diabetes, and all other chronic diseases. Domin Herbal Powder is organic. Just add a teaspoonful into a small cup of hot water and drink in the morning before meals and evening after meals. Domin Herbal Powder is available in all pharmacies and herbal shops in Nigeria. For bulk purchase, visit Obed Israel Enterprise Nigeria Limited, B33 Jigawa Plaza Trade Fair Market, or Rich Priest Pharmacy, 21 Afolabi Street, Tipa Garage, Egbe, Lagos, or Solid Sycamore Pharmaceutical Limited, 9 Ehi Street, Ijesha, Surulere, Lagos. For more information, call 0704 591 7000 or for Ghana 054 31-581-95. Domin Herbal Powder is not for persons below 12 years, not for pregnant and nursing mothers. Domin Herbal Powder for your overall well-being.
This is your number one radio station at VOP 90.3 FM. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Achike, and obviously I've been on the program with Barrister Darlington Agumwo. He's been giving us his insights into some of the topical issues across the country. Today, obviously, the former Imo State Governor Achike Udenwa has made a startling revelation about the influence of money in Nigerian elections, stating that with enough financial resources, politicians can buy their way to victory. And speaking on State Affairs, a political podcast which was hosted by Edmond Obilo, Udenwa lamented how deeply money has corrupted the country's electoral process. He decried the fact that Nigerian society's moral standard has degenerated to the point where voters no longer ask questions about the character, integrity, capacity, and antecedents of politicians soliciting their votes. He went further to reveal the extent of this transactional politics, asserting that political actors can influence not just voters but also institutions meant to uphold democracy. In fact, he talked about societal degeneration, institutional degradation. He said that if you have money, you can buy the Independent National Electoral Commission, you can buy the police, you can buy the army, and even the electorate. He bluntly responded, you can buy everybody. So, it underscores the growing concern that elections in Nigeria have become a commodity, accessible only to the highest bidder. Barrister Darlington, do you think that's true?
It is, in fact, the man ended the talk there because there's nothing to add. I'm telling you, and it became worse under APC. Let us call a spade here. I remember under PDP, when Obasanjo refused to obey Supreme Court order concerning Anambra election, and Andoba took advantage because of relationship with Obasanjo and stayed put after the court have said he should leave that place. He was there until Yar'Adua came into office. Immediately Yar'Adua came into the following day, he ordered Andoba to move out of that place within 6 hours. He removed his security details, everything. I said Anduba was in so much hurry to leave the place that as he was leaving, P2B was driving in. Eh?
And it was P2B was driving him.
Yes, driving inside. And Anduba was hurrying to leave that place to avoid being arrested and all that. Eh? That is a man who wants to help his country to develop. Eh? This same Yaradua, the money for the local government that the head of Obasanjo refused to give Tinubu wrongly, he released it to them. Because even Tinubu committed a political or legal offense by creating a local government on his own. Because if Obasanjo did not stop what Tinubu did, Esther, do you know how many local government would have had by now? Every other state would have created their own local government up to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. That is the one you don't follow bad example. But people are saying he did this, he did this, he did. What he did, is it right? Is it legal? Is it legal? The answer is no. Okay, since that time till now, why didn't Buhari say, oh yeah, Tinubu, yes, your 37 local government is now approved. Oh yeah, begin to include them in your budgeting. You see? But Yaradua released the money.
He did, yes.
He released it.
Immediately he came on, he released it.
He released it. Why didn't he say, since our party, let me sit on it? Eh? There are so many firsts Yaradua did within 1 week of his coming into office. Just for peace to reign in Nigeria. Just for rule of law to be followed. Just for the right thing to be done. That was a PDP president. What do we have under APC now? Tinubu said he will continue where Buhari stopped, and he has been doing it. In fact, he has even taken it to the next level.
So, Barrister Dalisa, are you saying that rather than a contest of ideas, policies, and integrity, electoral success is often determined by financial muscle?
Exactly. That, you go and ask, what's his name? The man at Owerri, who was the former governor, who just told you now how elections are. Is that not Udenwa? Is that not what is playing out? No, tell me. The off-cycle election, you saw people carry money before the polling area, paying for votes openly before the police and other security agencies. They were carrying cash, giving it to voters. Oh yeah, take and go and vote for us. Can you just imagine? With all the evidence before us, are you doubting what Udenwa said or what you already know? Esther, have you considered where this will land us to? If this will continue in the no distant future. No, tell me how our democracy will function or be deepened if this type of behavior continue under this administration.
Barrister Darlington, we're going through an excruciating economic condition. Nigerians are literally trying to grasp a thin thread to stay afloat, right? Those who have the means are supposedly trying and doing okay. You have a lot of young persons looking for any way to jackpot. You understand? Leave this country by any means because of the fact that, the dollar makes sense, even if they work extra hard when they go to the UK or the US or Canada, wherever it is. And they know that the working hours they put there is actually more than what they would do here, but they don't mind because they feel at the end of the day, they're able to resolve issues back home. Are we going to continue like this? If all the political bureaucrats are all gearing up ahead for 2027 and we still are going through this excruciating economic condition, would we have a people that will come and vote in 2027? And then secondly, if there's a big red question mark on INEC, as an institution that Nigerians feel has balkanized our democratic process, has balkanized the process through which we can actively vote and our votes will count, then what then happens? Are we going to see a repeat cycle of persons coming to the polling units to buy votes, to isolate persons, to disenfranchise persons? Are we going to see the same thing happen in 2027?
My dear, it's going to get worse. Now that Donald Trump is chasing these Jackpot people back home, it's going to get worse because they are coming home. They are coming home. So when they come, what do you think will happen? They will join the fray now. They will join the fray. You know, in those days in the village, when we want to go do farm, you have to clear the farm during dry season so that You now set it ablaze. So all the big games inside that place, they will be rushing out.
Yes.
You will now wait for them where the fire is chasing them from. You know, they'll be looking for safer ground. You wait for them because they will come out.
They will definitely come out.
So you now be picking them like a cherry. You know? So when they want to make you do their bidding, they will make sure they strangulate your economic life. Knowing fully well, man can never survive without food. The greatest pursuit of any man is what? Pursuit of happiness. And how do you get happiness? When you feed. Tell me that hungry man that is a happy man. They say the hungry man is an angry man. So they will make sure that they put you in a position whereby you have no choice than to do what they ask you to do. It's a deliberate policy. During the Second World War, I think the Russians did the Scotch egg. Scotch eggs. They burned the whole place so that the military, the men in the fighting in the battlefield will not see where to even, rest. Not to talk of where to find food. Thereby making them starve and starve and starve. It's a deliberate policy. Tell me, Esther, is it that Nigeria does not have money to take care of their citizens? Or that God did not bless us? Or that we don't have the land to farm? So why are Nigerians suffering? Are we suffering like this under PDP? Nigerians should answer that question. Are we suffering like this under PDP? Or was Nigeria not moving forward under PDP? So you can see, these things are deliberate. They want to extort you, make you, strangulate you until you don't have any choice than to say, motigba. You just be say, yes, I don't agree. So that you can stay alive. Oh. That's where they put you. It's deliberate. If not, why would you be doing this type of thing? And the worrisome aspect of it is that nobody is talking. The PDP did not go through this route when they started chasing Jonathan all over the place. Is it not an irony that those human rights fighters who went to Ojota and was saying Jonathan must go, something worse than Jonathan has happened upon us, yet nobody is talking. All of them who are now criticizing whoever, where are they now? Where are they?
Barrister Darlington, we say now that with all that is going on, a couple of persons will say all we do every time is to lament, make noise, and nothing will change. That this political bureaucrats, those who are the executive hierarchy, do not care about the people. For example, during the NBAD governance protest, you heard where Godswill Akpabio said that while you're on the street under the sun suffering and protesting, we'll be back here eating. Would you say that he literally expressed exactly the attitude, lifestyle, and the intention of our politicians, specifically those who are there supposedly representing us? Will it continue to be like this? Because every day we come on this platform. This is VOP 90.3 FM. We come on this platform daily. We discuss these travailing issues. It's kind of it's mentally, emotionally, and psychologically depressing. But we keep talking about it. The essence is to ensure that change comes from somewhere, but it feels like it gets worse. So what do we do? What do Nigerians do?
Esther, don't deceive yourself. Nothing lasts forever.
I should not deceive myself.
Nothing lasts forever. Quote me. Nothing. No evil lasts forever. A time will come when even among themselves they will start fighting. What is going on today? Did you believe it will happen among them? A time will come when the hunter will become the hunted. If this infamy continue, it will get to a head. Even that man that you think is a useless man, he cannot even do anything. You have conquered his soul and his brain. He will tell you that he has life in him. Go and ask for the French people, French government, what happened to them. I think in 1759 or so. Or the Russian, I think 1718. It's like that all over the world. Like I told you, history does not repeat itself. It is men that repeat history. You saw that this thing you are doing has caused problems somewhere, and you are still doing it. You saw that this thing, they have told you that this thing you are doing, it was what caused problem in so time somewhere, and you are still doing it here because you believe that you have used a charm or hypnotism to get the people. And no, No, juju they fail. Oh. If that is what they have used or not, if they fail, it has failed. The pharaohs of Egypt, where are they today? I mean, pharaohs, when they die like this, they will bury them with 6 young men to go and serve them in another world. Is anybody doing that today? That's why I ended it with history. The golden cutleries and that they buried them with. Archaeologists are going to excavate them now, and they have become a monument in some museums. The pyramid of Egypt, where are they? Have they not collapsed? Who want to remember that history now? Who want to remember Adolf Hitler? So I don't know why men think that what they are doing will last, and it can never last. It's a matter of time.
I just hope that we don't lose a lot of people in the process. That's just the unfortunate thing, where people would die needlessly. It's really sad. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to hear what you have to say. I had promised myself this year 2025 that I would enjoy the Book of Solomon and not partake in the lamentations of 2024. But it seems like the lamentations have continued and the voltage has increased. But hey, I will continue to maintain the Book of Solomon. Like Barrister Darlington said, that nothing lasts forever. So there's a possibility that a ray of sunshine will definitely permeate through the dark tunnel. So it's time for us to hear what you have to say. It's precisely 8:20. Even the Solomon, what happened to him?
The Solomon you mentioned, he said that vanity upon vanity, all is vanity. I mean, Solomon, God made him the richest man on earth. He said that forever and ever, nobody will be richer than him.
Wow.
It was calculated to be about $1.3 trillion. And you and I know that in this age now, nobody will amount that kind of wealth. $1.3 trillion. That is the wealth of Solomon. So nobody, according to the statement of God, though. So the man now saw everything and said, what is all this thing? It's vanity.
All right, Barrister Darlington, let's take calls and let's hear what Nigerians have to say. If you're joining us for the very first time, you're listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We've had quite a lot to discuss on issues today, from the Lagos State theatrics and drama, which has been unfolding for the past 1 or 2 months. And obviously, Obasa has finally been returned to insecurity, where a policeman was abducted on Abuja Highway. And from there, NNPC have also reduced their petrol price. We believe that competition is already on, the deregulation is already working based on what the president has promised. And okay, the situation in Rivers State, the Supreme Court ruling, and how it's affecting the political systematic situation in Rivers State. All of that is what we've discussed today on the Evening Rush. We'd like to hear what you have to say. The number to call is 080-3692-9933, 080-3692-9933. My name is Esther Machiko. I have right here in the studio Barrister Darlington Agumore, and obviously he's been able to give us his own insight and interpretation to what you know is currently trending as a hot topic. Hello, good evening. And there, certain bad precedents we're watching as the planet is listening. Comrade Abraham. Well done, Comrade Abraham. Thank you for sending your messages. Good evening, Queen Esther VOP Shakanadi from Alaba Oro. Nigeria, they shock me every day. Oh. It's true. It shock us too. It shock us. Good to hear your voice this evening, Esther. Whether Obasa stays or goes, the house will never be the same. The controversy has exposed deep divisions, eroded trust, and created suspicion amongst members. Healing and reconciliation will be needed to restore unity. Moreover, this episode highlights the need for the executive arm of government to recognize and respect the legislature as a separate and independent arm of government rather than treating it as an extension of the executive. This will help prevent future interference and promote a healthier balance of power. Ido Henry from Ojo, Lagos. All right, well done. Good evening, Esther Darlington. Nana from Okealfa. Not even Sanwo-Olu and his puppets can remove Obasa. One of Obasa's jobs is to checkmate Sanwo-Olu. Lagos is for only Lagos. Indigence is finally dead and buried. Those who claim they own Lagos have been put to shame. Wahala. He did. Good evening, Esther Wachuku. See the spacing and Barrister. The person that said EFCC should not arrest Obasa is the owner of Lagos State, and use your tongue to count your teeth. Leo from Lagos. All right. Thank you, Leo. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. Why you people sound like you are doing comedy? Funny, Sha. What do you want us to do? The fact remains that all this reducing of Kobo, kobo nafu in petrol is not helping common Nigerians. Fuel is not supposed to be higher than 450 naira. They shouldn't expect Nigerians to applaud for them for doing absolutely nothing. Nigeria has become completely lawless. Look at judgment in Lagos and Rivers State. I'm in pain. Oh my God, Ralph, I can feel it. Like, I can feel it. I'm also feeling it. For real. Was there any judgment in Lagos? He said, look at judgment in Lagos and Rivers. Was there any judgment in Lagos?
No, judgment has been carried out, though.
Esther, good evening. Good evening to you too. Thank you very much for you sending that message. What did you call good news? How much did Tinubu meet the feel before he took power from Buhari and you called it good news? Anna Paul from Anna Paul. Guinea cake your cup. What do you want me to say? Is it all good news? At least it's no longer 1,200. Good evening. The Supreme Court's judgment on the local government elections, the budget, and the legitimacy of the 27 allegedly defected House of Assembly members in Rivers State is hasty and not in national interest. It is hasty by not determining the legitimacy of the allegedly defected 27 House of Assembly members' case before conferring them legitimately in a totally extraneously separate case brought before. Why? Okay. You're just writing grammar. It is not in national interest because it is by its judgment intended to starve the grassroots in Rivers by ordering that the local government funds should not be released for the appropriate uses. Okay, thank you. Good evening, Esther and Barrister. Wow, this person is calling you Barrister Anosike. Is Barrister Darlington? No, Mr. Anosike is not a barrister. APC government has successfully pocketed our judiciary system. Imagine the Supreme Court judgment in Rivers State. Anarchy is looming. Well, if the Rivers State governor decides to obey the Supreme Court judgment, I don't think there'll be any form of anarchy. Dear Barrister Darlington, I have always advised against rushing into taking a stance, especially when it comes to complex issues like party switching. Ultimately, it's up to the courts to decide the outcome, not the governor. In the case of Governor Fubar, he was misadvised by his supporters, despite warnings from IFI about the potential consequences of his actions. Now, Governor Fubar has no choice but to present the budget to the Amawule-led House of Assembly. Aberdeen from Bagada. Well done, Aberdeen. Good evening, the presenter and Oga Darlington. I'm not surprised at Supreme Court decision because when Wike was busy building houses for the judges, buying cars, what do you expect? Francis from Satellite. Good evening, House. Frankly speaking, Lagosians cannot eat their cake and have it anymore. They were busy chasing shadows while their neighborhood brethren took over the land. The spirit of Omonile covered their eyes and ears to the extent of giving away their ancestry for money. Their attitude of chasing bus drivers, market women, and men on the street is a handwriting on the wall, and they will soon become a stranger in their land. Too bad, for they have lost it all. Akaniro King, thank you very much. Supreme Court judge, that case in favor of Wike and APC. They want APC to take over Rivers State. That is all their plan. Chibweze Rahim from Ikontun, well done. Good evening, Barrister Darlington and Esther. Hearing the judgment from the Supreme Court, I wasn't surprised. Ever since Wike and his master started building houses and buying cars for judges, I knew the next judgment for Rivers wouldn't favor the people since Fubara is the target. Okay? All right. Good evening, Esther Wachuku, Kaidi from Pangrove. It is a real drama in the Lagos State House of Assembly. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. If I were Governor Fubar, I would set a new record by disobeying Supreme Court at all costs, not to represent the budget for any reason. Let the heavens fall. Stanley from Ojo. Stanley, it's not good though. The judiciary interprets the Nigerian law the way they understand it, just as the pastors in Nigeria interpret the Bible the way they understood it. Confusions everywhere. Carpenter, we don't know in work. Nakbako. When you catch you, Wachuku from Ajao Estate. Well done. Good evening, Barrister Darlington. Good evening, Esther. It is regrettable that our electoral body and the judiciary have decided to let the masses down by not being our last hope. However, let me say that the day of reckoning will soon be here. All those contributing to the decadence will be noted, and like President Jonathan suggested, we will have their names. All right, thank you very much for that message. All right, good evening, Esther Wachuku, Erida Barrister Darlington, VOP family. Barrister Darlington, this issue of inconsistency with God judgment of the way different lawyers are interpreting it, I disagree on this judgment. Always make it boring and tiring in listening to our court proceedings and judgment. Oshoma was trying to convince us of the Supreme Court outcome yesterday, but what Kenneth Okonkwo said is well simplified, like simultaneous equation in mathematics. His explanation made the law look as easy as ABC, and also convincing and more appealing to a layman like me. May God save our land. Amechi from Mafuluku. Good evening, Esther Machuku and Barrister Darlington. My name is Timmy. I cry for this country. From judiciary to legislative and executive, they are culprits in this mess created in Nigeria. I can see there's no way out in all this. Hope is becoming a mirage before us. Who will deliver this nation from this path of destruction? Religion is deceitful. Truth has fallen in the street and righteousness stands at a distance. We all look for light, but darkness occupied our spaces. We grope like a blind man along the wall, seeking to find our way. For how long? The Supreme Court, good evening, Esther, APC woman leader, Ogene, and Barrister Darlington. The elected members can't act on their own base on the Constitution because they're all products of Baba Shokwe politics. On the issue of River State, the Supreme Court is a threat to our democracy. Wow. Good evening, Esther, Barrister Darlington, and the People's Radio. The manner of which our judges make different pronouncements of some case in different courses, to say the least, a deep regret. The fundamental principles and beauty of democracy is the rule of law. Nigerians should speak in one voice, compelling on legislators to declare a state of emergency for the amendment of our electoral law, because the manner at which our politicians use judicial officers as stooges for the political victory is gradually moving Nigeria to a state of anarchy. Also, independent candidates should be entrenched in our constitution. Stephen Akimbisola Ijegu from Lagos. Okay. Please, is it logical or proper in a matter of protocol for VP J.D. Vance of USA to be talking down on President Zelensky of Ukraine, another sovereign nation, in the presence of his own boss, President Trump, in public? Please also, okay, this is from Harrison. Our Barrister Darlington will respond to that later. Good evening, Esther. Can you ask Barrister Darlington what is the difference between APC and PDP? None of them has the interests of Nigerians at heart. Melvin from Ikeja. Good evening, Esther Wachuku. It's quite unfortunate that we find ourselves in this ugly situation that we are now. Only God can help us. Esther Wachuku, please greet Barrister Darlington for me. Samuel of OBC OJ from Ajegunle Akpakpa, Lagos. Okay, thank you very much. These politicians are doing anything, whatever pleases them. They have successfully caged all the system meant to combat them. May God save us all. All right, my name. Good evening, Esther and Barrister. Obasa traded off his governorship ambition for his speakership position. The coast has been cleared for Sheyi Tinubu to ascend the seat after Sonwulu in 2027. My name is Palmwine Parles. Wow, Parles Palmwine. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington, man of the year in VOP family. God bless you. APC don't love this Nigeria. They have buried everything in Nigeria up and down. It's a shame. It's a shame. This is from Pachipo from Ladipo. Good evening, VOP. I'm Beji from Oshodi. Queen Esther and Barrister Darlington, Una, well done for your good job for Nigerians. Please, I want to say that former governor of Imo State had just given all Nigerians a secret revelation of what actually transpired during the 2023 presidential election. It means, obviously, that it's the man who didn't buy INEC, police, and army, the one that vows not to give shishi, that actually won the people's money. Exactly. But unfortunately, the one that bought every Bible was declared winner of that election. It's a pity for Nigeria. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is all your message that I can take, because we have a live appearance right here in the studio, and that is Kudos Homes. Kudos Homes, as you do know, is one of the, well, I say, real estate agency, organization, precisely establishment that has you at the topmost of their heart. And obviously, anything that concerns your property, housing, anything that concerns, property engagement, property letting, property buying, building, and all of that, Kudos Homes has it in store for you. Good evening. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
All right. Good evening once again.
Welcome.
Yes. So my name is Victor from Kudos Homes Limited, and I'm here to tell you the wonderful opportunity you stand to gain when you invest in property in Nigeria. Okay. And again, we are in our Ramadan promo. We are in our Ramadan season. So for everyone out there that is experiencing the Ramadan period, we have some good packages for you. So now let me quickly tell you about what we are offering this season. So if you, for instance, let me quickly call our property locations, and I'll tell you the price and what you stand to gain. So there's a lot for everyone. So here in Lagos, we have Kudos City. Kudos City is located in Agbowa, Ikorodu. Kudos City is located in Agbowa, Ikorodu, and is going for just 1.5 million naira per plot. Kudos City, Agbowa, Ikorodu. And we also have Kudos Heritage Phase 2. And Kudos Heritage Phase 2 is located at Omuketu Ekpe, and the Phase 2 is going for just 2.5 million naira. And we also have the Phase 1. The Phase 1 is also located at the same Omuketu Ekpe, and is going for just 3.5 million naira per plot. Now the plot size is 500 square meters, and all of these properties, all of this land that I'm calling, they are perfectly dry land. You will not have anything like omonile wahala, no disturbance, no disturbance when you want to build, nothing like fence money, nothing like roofing money. When you buy our property, you can start building your house on it. And also in Omuketu Ekpe, we have the Kudos Heights, which is also in that Omuketu Ekpe, and it's going for just 4.5 million naira per plot. Now let me quickly give you the phone number to call. Now the phone number to call is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. And also let's quickly go to Delta State, where we have Fairview Estate Phase 2, which is located in Ibuzo, main town, Ibuzo in Delta State, and it's going for just 2.5 million naira. Now, this estate is very close to the Asaba International Airport, the Nelson Mandela Parks and Garden, Asaba, Delta State. So what are you waiting for? And it's going for just 2.5 million naira per plot. And we also have Kudos Height in the same Ibuzo, and Kudos Height is going for 1.5 million naira per plot. Now, all these estates that I'm talking about, they are very close to Asaba International Airport. And don't forget about Kudos Court. Kudos Court is going for 4.5 million naira per plot. Now, they are very close to the first and the second Niger Bridge, and they are good location for you. Now, the number again to call is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. Now let's go to Enugu in the east, where we have Fairview Estate Phase 1. Now the Fairview Estate Phase 1 is going for just 1.5 million naira per plot. 1.5 million naira per plot, and is very close to the Enugu International Airport, which is popularly known as the Akani Biam International Airport. Now there are universities around it. We have the Godfrey Okoye University, and we also have the Caritas University, and this estate is going for just 1.5 million naira per plot. And we also have the Fairview Estate Phase 2, which is located at Amokwenike, and it's going for just 2.5 million naira per plot. All of these estates are in wonderful locations. The number again to call is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. Now there are loads of gifts to get when you buy any of our properties. When you get one plot, you are getting one big bag of rice. When you get two plots, you are getting one bag of rice and one groundnut oil. Now, a lot of things you stand to gain in this Ramadan season. Now, our office address is at 171 Egbeda Idim Road, Abule Odu bus stop, and our social media handles are at Kudos Homes Limited on Facebook and on Instagram. So quickly call us today at on 0905 904 7514. So
well, what is the proceeding like? What's the process like when you want to purchase? You can do all of the certifications, a lot of documentation for any interested buyer.
Exactly. So when you want to purchase, like those that want to buy outrightly, when you pay, you get all your documents immediately. When you pay for the land, you get the document that is attached to the land. And those that want to pay instrumentally, you can start with as low as 300,000 naira.
Really?
Yes, 300,000 naira. Initially, we were doing 500, but this Ramadan season, with as low as 500,000 naira, you can, with as low as 300,000 naira, you can pay your initial deposit and spread the payment for 3 months.
Okay, so you're not going to have anybody coming to say, Lagos State government, this, even after they present their documents, you will not hear, oh, this is not from us or whatever.
Nothing like that.
Everything is properly
you
done.
Get any of our property and we allocate you, and the next thing is for you to go and build. you are not going to have any problem from the government. You are not going to have any problem from the Omoniles.
Yes,
They will not disturb you. So if you buy any of our property, you are rest assured that you are now a proud landlord, either in Lagos, in Enugu, or in Delta State. So that is the assurance that we give. Because in Kudos Homes Limited, we are helping everyone to actualize their dream homes.
All right.
Let me quickly call the phone numbers
Please do
again.
that.
So the number to call again is 0905 904 7514. Our inspection days here in Lagos is Thursdays and Saturday. Then in Asaba and in Enugu, it is Mondays to Saturday. So it's best you go see the property you are investing in. So when you see it, you'll be glad to pay for it. So we encourage people to come for inspection.
Okay, so can you inspect before payment? If
Exactly.
you're interested.
Yes, that's why we are saying the inspection days, like
Okay.
Thursdays and Saturday, we go for inspection. And in Enugu, it is every day. So
Every
it's
day.
good you come see the land before you can start making your payments.
All right, thank you very much, Kudos
All right.
Homes. Thank you so much for
All
giving us
right.
that insight. We sincerely do appreciate you.
Exactly. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Barrister Darlington, we haven't finished business before Kudos came to give us this appetizing, tantalizing, information about acquiring property and all of that. Barrister Darlington, what's your final take before we wrap up today?
Yeah. In fact, my take is that Nigerians should be wary. If we allow a few people to destroy our future and our destiny, we should not complain. No. This thing that is happening now, and people are speaking from both sides of their mouth, even though they know the truth, it will not help our democracy. When this democracy implodes, the same people will come out and be saying, we said it. We told them, they did not listen. Please say it and say it loud that this thing is not good. It will not help us. If we allow this infamy to continue, it may consume all of us. So
All right,
don't
Barrister
joke about
Darlington.
it. Go and look at history. It has happened severally. Your own will not be different. We must not allow this thing to continue.
All right, thank you very much. This person says, good evening, Esther and Barrister. I hear you people say Lagos has been captured. It's not only captured Lagos, so it's not only Lagos that has been captured, though, but Nigeria. It's a pity that other arms of government have submitted themselves to the executive. It's unfortunate. Taiwo from Ejigbo. Taiwo, me, I'm not captured. I'm not captured. I'm myself. Simple. Barrister Darlington, thank you so much for being here today and giving us your insights on the issues. Obviously, we'll be having you on Thursday. Bye for now.
You're welcome.